I am Kenny Anderson and welcome to Impact. You've been listening to the great music of a living musical institution right here in the city of Huntsville and known throughout this region and around the nation. None other than Microwave Dave, and I love to hear his music. We're going to be talking today about an annual event that people have come to realize is a true treasure right here in this community. And for the third year, it's coming up one more time. It's Microwave Dave Day. And here to talk to us about that is the president of the Microwave Dave Music Education Foundation, Evan Billiter. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Kenny. Great to have this beautiful venue here to talk about our event. I'm just glad to be here. Glad to see you again, of course.
It's always good to see you, and I know every time we talk, there's a great vibe and always great things happening around that vibe. So I'm really happy that we're having this opportunity to salute, as I said, a musical institution in this area. Tell me a little bit about the Music Education Foundation first.
The foundation was created actually in the process of planning the first event. When we finally told Microwave Dave that we wanted to have this event, we were thinking about surprising him, but then we figured, well, we probably should tell him.
Yeah.
And he, just a humble and sweet man. And so he introduced the idea to kind of shift directions a little bit and deflect off of him. And so the bass player for the Nukes came up with a great idea to create a foundation utilizing his name. And so what the foundation does is take funds from the event and other contributions, and we pay our local musicians to play in our local schools. So I'm also head of that project, and so I deal with local musicians and we interject them into our schools. We've been focusing a lot on Title I schools, schools that do not have a budget in order to bring a lot of musicians or music at all into their curriculum. So it's been a real fun project, and all the schools are so thrilled when they see us. We just got done Rolling Hills and Dawson before then, and it's just been such a pleasure.
You know, people have always talked about music as the international language, something that connects people regardless of where they are and what they may be experiencing. In fact, music has been profoundly important in terms of the experiences of our own lives, when we're in love, when we're going through a difficult time in life, when we're on top of the world perhaps. Music is always at the core, and to be able to share this gift with children has to be priceless. How important is it to be able to sustain this kind of an operation?
Oh, it's incredible. To see budgets in these areas in the arts and music be just disappearing in our local schools is a hardship for these kids. So not only the inspiration just in music in general, no matter what the race or age, these kids really pay attention when they hear music. They get excited, even if it's not music that they necessarily listen to.
Yeah.
So now we're also taking a step further into the education side of it. It is not just performance. We are now utilizing musicians to teach other subjects. So we've had musicians like Danny Davis from Tangled String Studios, NASA scientist turned guitar maker. He did a science lesson just the other day, teaching about sound waves and how is a guitar built and why do they have big and small strings. And it was real fascinating to watch those kids just eat it up. They just loved it.
Yeah.
So, you know, beyond even just the feeling that it gives you, utilizing music as a tool for learning is a powerful thing.
It seems like the perfect fit too, because kids are naturally curious anyway.
Yeah.
And they're naturally connected to the vibes of life. You know, music can start, and you can see a 1-year-old or even younger than that responding to music. We see infants in the womb responding to music. So music has a strong connection, and to be able to embrace it in this type of way and nurture it in terms of the lives of young people has to be a very critical element of their lives.
You're absolutely right. And the way that it was actually inspired through Rick, the bass player, Microwave Dave tells the story all the time when he was in 4th grade in Texas. A big touring band actually had some kind of connection to the school and was booked to play and perform for the students. And Dave, every time he talks about it, says, that's when I learned that I wanted to be a musician for the rest of my life. And sure enough, it worked with him for sure. But, you know, also, you know, we're not in this business of, breeding musicians either. We want to show them that music can be this tool that they could utilize as a musician, or just for learning, or just for inspiration in general. So we know that there are multiple uses for music for these children.
Right, and so this event is in its third year now, and it's always a very exciting event. I think it's always held at the Lumberyard.
It has been held at the Lumberyard the past 2 years, and we're so thankful to Doug and Jessica and everybody at the Lumberyard. What a great venue that is. It's just so, I always call it the New Orleans of the city of Huntsville.
That's a great description.
It's a real fun place to be. It really is. We have the opportunity this year to move it to downtown Huntsville, and that's what we've done. And we are very, very excited. We feel that being in downtown Huntsville, the city will adopt us as their own. And so we're going to be right in front of Humphreys. We're closing the street down in between Holmes and Clinton on Washington.
Wow.
And so we're going to involve the whole city. We want everybody to come down and enjoy themselves and know that when they pay that suggested donation of $10, that's going to what we're talking about today.
Yeah, and when you're honoring such a legend like Microwave Dave, who's given his heart and soul to this community and so many people, so many young people, through this foundation now, the Music Education Foundation, you can't help but feel good about this process. You can't help but feel good about what's being done in his name. And I've had a chance to actually attend the first event, actually, and was able to actually talk to some people on the set to find out what their thoughts were. And we're going to take a short look at the video at this time of some people who were on the scene for the very first Microwave Dave Day.
So much demanded of me, my time. Is there even a question?
I said, let's head on down there. This is a phenomenon. This is an event for the city to come together around not just Dave. Microwave Dave is amazing, but he will tell you it's not about him. It's about music, it's about community and coming together to celebrate. So he's providing us a way to do that.
And it's all about sparking the culture of our community as well, and all of the diversity and the many different things that music represents.
That's it. And we use the word diversities, actually. The diversities of our city. Isn't that interesting?
Yes.
The various diverse cultures of music. But again, music brings people together even with all the differences. So let's just enjoy it, not analyze it too much, experience the unity of the music with this one gentleman, but it's not about him only, it's about the community and the different people coming together.
The richness of music and musical talent we have here in Huntsville and the Tennessee Valley, I mean, you don't have this everywhere. This is our cultural heritage. You know, we have other things to be proud of, but we also have, you know, there's just something in the water, something in the air that's turning out these musicians across genres, younger musicians, musicians who get to be in their 50s and 60s and still have an enthusiastic following. This is not happening everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, it's happening in Huntsville. That's our culture, that's our heritage, and we've got to claim it, we've got to name it, and we've got to expand on it and build on it. That's what we're going to do.
Monday night I work late.
That's toe tapping music for sure. And you can't help but bop your head a little bit too. If you had seen me while the video was playing, you would have seen all of those things, but I've got to remain anchored in my seat as I continue to talk to Evan Billiter. Evan, that's just feel-good stuff.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I mean, the fact that we're doing something great for the community, for the kids, is our first main focus. But what a cool fringe benefit for us that we get surrounded by such great musicians. It's been such a pleasure, and it's real easy to work with pretty much all the musicians in town because they're so ready and willing. They love Dave. There isn't a musician in town that doesn't love Dave along with all of us. So it's real easy. When I call people up, they're yes, 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 all over the place. And then the people that I forget get mad at me because I haven't asked them yet. So
you got both sides of the process.
I do. So yeah, I try every year. I try to get new musicians on stage. I really want to represent the city of Huntsville in a roundabout way. I want everybody to be able to show what we can do here in Huntsville and how we're inspired by people like Dave.
Yeah, and this is a community that I'm always celebrating because of its resourcefulness, its willingness to come together for a great cause, And in a lot of ways, this is what I like to call a party with a purpose.
Absolutely.
This is a celebration of life and creativity and engagement, and an opportunity for the community to stand behind something that is going to have a lasting impact in the lives of these young people. Like you said, through this foundation, young people are coming in contact with musicians, and they're learning more than just the music itself. And you're not trying to make people become musicians. You're exposing them to something that's important in terms of their whole educational process. And these are young people who one day may discover a cure for cancer. They may be the first person to land on Mars. I mean, these are our most precious resources that you have an opportunity to touch. So I know that the musicians who interacted with these kids have to come away feeling awfully good, knowing that they've poured something into their lives.
Oh, they really do. They've always mentioned at the end how neat it is. And I think with musicians, a lot of times, especially the ones that play on a regular basis or doing it for a living, a lot of times they may get stuck in that schedule of just, I play every Tuesday night at this bar or this restaurant or whatnot. So it's really neat to see them get excited about it and say, this is something that I'm doing, that I'm getting paid for.
Yeah.
And that I really enjoy, and I can inspire these children while I do it. It just works all the way around. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So I know we've told people already where Microwave Day takes place this year, but let's go again through the whole process. What is the date?
Okay.
What is the location? What is the time? What can people learn?
Okay, so it's June 25th. We try to keep it the last Sunday of June, even though everybody thinks we're crazy because it's so hot in June.
And it's outdoors.
It's outdoors, and that's all right. We're all going to get through it together.
That's right.
It is from 3 to 9, and it, like I said before, it's right in front of Humphreys, and Humphreys is our host sponsor, as well as our big sponsor, Star Market, which is another example of our community coming behind this. But yeah, we're looking forward to it, renting a big stage and putting it in the street. And like you said, we're having a big street party. We're having a good time. And we have other partners in the community like Musicology. I have a good friend that owns that music school out in Madison. They will be setting up booths for the kids to come in and have short, free music lessons as well. So we'll have a little fun stuff for the kids to do all day long. But ultimately, this is about the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a destination stop, obviously. This is more than just an event, it's an experience. It's an opportunity to connect in a very powerful way with an event that ties, again, the affirmation of a musical giant in our community with an opportunity to pour into the lives of young people. How can people get more information about this event?
Go to our website, microwavedavemef.org, and look us up on Facebook, Microwave Dave Foundation. Find all the information you get. You can donate there. You can sign up to volunteer for one of our events. We love anybody that wants to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when you see Microwave Dave, he looks like a guy who has a heart of gold, and you see all of these people coming together to make this work. That's got to be gratifying as a person who stands behind the scenes, orchestrating this process, bringing people together. What does it say that so many people want to lay it on the line for Dave? What does it say about him as a person?
Oh, well, I mean, just the humility and the kindness and what he's done for the community already was an inspiration for all of us and why we created it. It started off with Allison Lewis, who is a part of our foundation, photographer, music lover herself. She would come up to me at Concerts on the Dock at Low Mill every Friday night and say, what are we doing for Dave? Wow. What are we going to do for Dave? And finally, I think probably about 2 years later, we finally said, all right, let's just have a meeting and see who shows up. And we met at a restaurant, and we had about 20 people there. 15 or 20 people showed up and said, we don't even know what we're doing, but we're here to help, and we want to be a part of this. And so just that love and that show of affection for him, and that was before we even created the foundation and what we do for kids, that was just the love for him. Wow. So that love has inspired all of these other things that have happened since then. The event and the foundation and what will happen in the future will be real special. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun to do it in a group of people that have a love for him, a love for music and community.
That's outstanding. So we want folks to mark their calendars again. Give us the date, place, and time.
Absolutely. June 25th, last Sunday in June, right there in downtown Huntsville, right in front of Humphreys. And from 3 to 9, we're asking for a $10 suggested donation. We will not turn anyone away. We are sure about that. We make sure that those gate people know that we don't turn anybody away. If you can't afford it, you give whatever you can. If you can't, that's fine.
Wow.
But $10 suggested donation. So we hope to see everyone there. It's going to be a big old street party.
Wow, I just hope you have tons and tons of people show up. I'm doing a show that afternoon live from 2 to 4 on my radio station, but I'm going to show up after that.
There you go,
in shorts and a T-shirt.
There'll be plenty of music for you. Plenty left over. Come on down there.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Evan Billiter is the president of the Microwave Dave Music Education Foundation. Always good to see you, my brother.
You too, my brother.
All right, you take care.
See you soon.
We hope that you'll definitely put this date on your calendar. It's June 25th, a very important day in the city of Huntsville. It's Microwave Dave Day, and there's a big celebration going on downtown Huntsville in front of Humphreys. You know where it is, right next to the parking garage. You can't miss it. In fact, if you miss it somehow, just check out the music and follow the music. You'll find it. Come on out and be a part of it, 3 to 9 p.m. on June 25th. You can find out more information on the Facebook page. And make sure you share it with a friend. We also hope that you enjoyed the video that you just watched and that you'll like our Facebook page, which is Impact with Kenny Anderson, where you can see a sample of this video as well as some behind-the-scenes shots of what happens once the camera stops rolling. For Impact, I'm Kenny Anderson. Hope you have a great day.